life, I believe we walk a path shaped by three fathers. The first, our biological father, teaches us how to act, how to treat others, and how to stand in the world. The second, our career father, shows us how to carve out a place for ourselves, how to earn and how to survive. And the third, our idealistic father, represents who we strive to become, the highest version of ourselves. But to truly grow, we must one day surpass them all. Not in rejection, but in evolution, because becoming your own man isn't about forgetting who guided you. It's about taking what they have given and forging something even greater. Now, I'm not entirely sure where this belief came from. I mean, I can tell you where I got it from initially, but I can't say for sure if it's an actual concept or not beyond where I heard it from. So I first came upon this while watching and listening to the director's commentary for the film 28 Days Later. No, the song isn't about a rage pandemic, but in the commentary track they were talking about how the main character, Jim, had three fathers in the movie which guided him and how he had to surpass those three father figures to become his own man. I want to say that at some point this concept was derived from someplace else, but again, in this commentary they talked about how Jim had his biological father which taught him how to be a man and stand up for himself. Then he came upon Frank, who helped him through the landscape of where they traveled, and finally he came up on Major West, who was supposed to represent this authority figure and offered salvation. That works for the movie, but I think in life we do come across a variety of father figures from which we glean life lessons from. There can be more than three, but in essence I think it comes down to three. Your biological father, who is supposed to raise you and teach you how to be a man. The second is when you embark on a life away from home and you meet the person who you will be taking over for at your new career. This person trains you, shows you the ropes, and leads you to what it takes to be a successful person in that career. And finally, you have your ideological father, who you may never know or may never meet, but represents who you want to be in your personal field of growth, whether it's in music, art, writing, photography, or whatever. Throughout these videos, I have intentionally not talked too much about the gear, recording process, techniques involved, etc., because I find that type of stuff boring, even for someone who is involved in that type of stuff. I have no interest in hearing or talking about the technical aspects behind the recording process. I do, however, want to take a moment to recognize yet another incredible musician who took the time to lay down some solos for this track. When I first heard Dan Hoyos, he did a guest solo on this one song by the band Rise to Fall, and his solo just blew me away. It was exactly the type of solo I'm all in for. So when the time came to get some solos done, I contacted Dan and he agreed to lend his lead work for this track. It's been such a thrill to have not just Dan, but so many other talented musicians perform on this record as well. The guest musicians on this album each brought something unique, different influences, different experiences, all coming together to create something greater than themselves. And in many ways, that mirrors the three fathers we encounter in life. Each one, our biological father, our career father, and our idealistic father, imparts wisdom, shapes our path, and leaves a mark on who we become. But just as these musicians had to find their own sound, we too must take what we've learned and forge our own way forward. Because in the end, growth isn't just about learning from others, it's about rising beyond them. In the end, the greatest tribute to those who shape us is not to follow in their footsteps forever, but to step beyond them. The biological father who taught you how to act, the career father who showed you how to survive, and the idealistic father who inspired you to dream. Each gave you the tools to build your own path, but to truly become your own man, you must take what they've taught and rise beyond it, not in defiance, but in fulfillment of their purpose, because the measure of their guidance is not in how well you follow, but in how far you go.